In the dust and heat of ancient Galilee, word is spreading like fire through dry grass. A rabbi from Nazareth walks among the people, healing the sick, giving sight to the blind, casting out demons. His name is Jesus, and wherever he goes, crowds follow. They press in from every side, the desperate, the curious, the faithful. Entire villages empty at the rumor of his approach. Today, he walks toward the shore of the Sea of Galilee, and the multitude swells around him like a living tide. But hidden among these thousands is a woman whose name history does not record. For 12 long years, she has suffered from an issue of blood, a condition that has drained not only her body, but her spirit, her dignity, and every coin she ever possessed. She has visited every physician in the region. She has endured treatments that brought only greater pain. She has spent everything she had, and yet her condition has only grown worse. 12 years of bleeding, 12 years of being declared unclean, 12 years of isolation. Under the law of Moses, her affliction makes her an outcast. She cannot enter the temple. She cannot touch another person without rendering them unclean. She lives on the margins, forgotten, invisible, a shame. And then she hears about Jesus, perhaps a whisper from a neighbor, perhaps a story carried on the wind from a distant town, a man who heals with a word, a man who touches lepers and makes them whole. Something stirs within her, something she has not felt in years. Hope. Fragile, trembling, reckless hope. She makes a decision. She will go to him. Not to speak to him, not to beg, simply to touch the edge of his garment. She tells herself, quietly, like a prayer, if I just touch his clothes, I will be healed. The crowd around Jesus is enormous. Bodies pressed together in the narrow streets, jostling for position, straining for a glimpse of the healer. The noise is deafening. Voices crying out for mercy, children calling, merchants shouting to be heard. She pushes forward. Every step is an act of defiance against her weakness, against the law that forbids her from being here, against the voice inside her that says she is not worthy. She stumbles. She is shoved aside. But she does not stop. And then she sees it. The hem of his cloak, swaying just ahead of her, within arm's reach. She stretches out her hand, her fingers trembling, and touches the fabric. One touch. That is all. The faintest brush of cloth against her fingertips. And in that single instant, everything changes. Immediately, she feels the bleeding stop. A warmth floods through her body. Not the fever of illness, but the warmth of restoration. 12 years of suffering ended in the space of a heartbeat. She knows, deep within herself, that she has been freed from her affliction. But Jesus stops. He turns. In the midst of this crushing, heaving crowd, he asks a question that silences those nearest to him. Who touched my clothes? His disciples look at him, bewildered. You see the crowd pressing against you, they say, and yet you ask, who touched me? But Jesus is not speaking of casual contact. He has felt power go out from him. He searches the faces around him. The woman's heart pounds. She has been discovered. She could slip away into the crowd, disappear as she came. But instead, trembling with fear, she falls at his feet. And there, before the rabbi and the entire multitude, she tells him the whole truth. Her years of suffering, her desperate faith, the moment she touched his cloak. Jesus looks down at this woman, broken, trembling, afraid, and speaks words that change everything. Not a rebuke, not a command, but a blessing. Daughter, your faith has healed you. Go in peace and be freed from your suffering. Daughter. He calls her daughter. Not woman, not unclean one, daughter. In a single word, he restores not only her body, but her place among her people. She came with nothing but faith, a faith so desperate it could barely be called courage. She did not ask for a miracle, she reached for one. And in that reaching, in that single trembling act of belief, she found not only healing, but the voice of God himself, calling her his own. 2,000 years later, her story endures, a testament to the power of faith born in the darkest hour. That sometimes all it takes is one touch, one moment of belief, and everything changes.